Where in the world is Nicholas John Bosa? 49ers got practice tomorrow. Where's Nicky at? We got a late night gang stream coming at you. Oh, we haven't done one of these in a long time. So I'm down to vibe a little bit. Pull up Sunday night. The week starts tomorrow. We get a little 49ers talk before the week begins. Let's have some fun tonight. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. What's cracking? We got a little dual stream action going. A little late night gang stream. Where's Nicky Bosa at? Where's our guy? Where's our guy? We are on Nick Bosa watch, waiting for Nick Bosa to ink that contract extension. What's good, Instagram? We got YouTube in the building. We've got Facebook in the building. Let's go. Figured we haven't done a late night gang stream in quite some time. And we're all in the same kind of boat right now, right? It's Sunday. Tomorrow's Monday. The San Francisco 49ers will practice tomorrow. And we'll figure out, is Nick Bosa going to be in the building? I really hope so. I really hope so. Because, man, this has been quite the offseason. Has it not? We had the whole quarterback situation going down. Then we obviously move off the quarterback situation because Trey Lance gets traded. And then it's like, oh, yeah, we forgot. We haven't paid Nick Bosa yet. And then all of a sudden, we all realized, like, at the same time, like, oh, yeah, we got to pay Nick Bosa. Forgot about that. And we're looking at our watches. We're like, actually, the third preseason game's over. Where's Nick? So, man. So I figured, why not? Let's come on a little late night gang stream. Shout out to Instagram. We haven't done an IG live in some time. Of course, shout out to all the SDS everywhere checking in on YouTube, Facebook. Figure we say what's good. Drop in. Talk some 49ers. Why not? Because we want to figure out, I don't know. I don't know when this deal is going to get done. Obviously, we've heard, I don't even know if we can call it reports. I don't even know if we call it reports. We just heard a bunch of stuff at the end of last week. Albert Breer put out that article. Then he said it wasn't a report. It was just analysis. We don't know what's going on. And to be honest, I don't mind that we don't know what's going on. And the 49ers have done a pretty good job. Nick Bosa, all his representation, keeping it quiet. But I don't think it's going to stay quiet for too much longer because we got to get Nicky paid. We got a game to win. I feel like, what was that scene from Waterboy when he gets kicked out at the end because they're going to the Bourbon Bowl and they're like, man. Or it was when he was in the it was when he was in the hospital and Rob Schneider was like, wake her ass up. We got a game to win. It's kind of to that level. We just want the full gang ready to go because we know what it is, man. We're going to Seattle, Pittsburgh. It's a late night gang stream, so facts are going to be questionable at this point. But we're going to Pittsburgh, and we already know what it is. San Francisco 49ers need to get things rolling like right away. We know what it is. 49ers want seating. because we know this team is a playoff caliber team, arguably the best roster in the NFC right now. Obviously, you have the Eagles, you have the Cowboys, you've got some other teams sprinkled in there, but it's the 49ers, man, right there at the top. And, you know, this Steelers team is competitive. They're going to be prepared. They've got weapons. They've got quality weapons on offense, defense. People sleeping on Pickett. I've told you before, I don't sleep on Pickett because I pay attention to Pickett. So I think he's going to be able to operate that offense at a high level. They got a little dual-headed running back tandem in Warren and Najee. And you know what their wide receivers look like. They have pretty quality wide receivers as well. So their offense is going to be well prepared. They looked sharp throughout the preseason. And so the biggest thing with that offense is you're going to want to attack the offense. You're going to want to make Pickett uncomfortable. And what is the best way to make Pickett uncomfortable? Unleash the bear. We need to unleash the bear on that offensive line, and we need to make things ugly up front. We need to win in the trenches. And it's going to be really hard to do that without Nick Bosa. So this is the thing. As long as Nick Bosa plays week 1, I personally don't care. Like, obviously, we're all getting worried. It's Sunday. 49ers practice tomorrow. I've been believing this whole time that, hey, man, we want to get Nick Bosa at least 1 week in practice, right? We want to get him getting acclimated in the building, you know, with the game plan, going through the motions, getting into the routine of week 1 and off and rolling, right? But at the end of the day, Matt Maiocco and Matt Barrows were joking about it. I think Matt Barrows said, Maiocco put out, he's in the belief that even if Nick Bosa got paid on Saturday, they would figure out a way to get Bosa in the game on Sunday. And then Barrows had the hilarious tweet about how Nick Bosa is going to drop out of an airplane, parachute down, and basically sack Kenny Pickett for the most exciting sack we've ever seen. But that's to the point where we're at. Like, honestly, I don't care what it takes at this point. I just want him to play. If we can't get Nick Bosa on the field week 1, then I think that's when we have some problems. Like, that's when we run into some issues, and I don't want issues. We've had enough of those this offseason. I want success for the squad. I want the boys to back to the water boy reference. Remember when Bobby Boucher showed up at halftime and the Mud Dogs won the Bourbon Bowl? Like, that's kind of the same vibes. Like, I don't care. Like, if he has to show up at halftime, do it. Like, I just want him playing, because we understand if Nick Bosa is playing in that game, the 49ers are going to have a higher probability of winning. So if that's what it takes, then that's what it will be. I don't care. Obviously, getting him in and signed as soon as possible is ideal. But regardless of the ideal scenario, we just need him there week 1. So hopefully we someone Photoshop Bosa on that Waterboy scene. Oh, please do it. If you do, I will absolutely repost it. I will absolutely repost it. So we'll see. We'll see what we get. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Is Nick Bosa in danger of missing week 1? Because it is, for me, it's 9:15 Sunday night here in the Bay. Obviously, we got people all over the place, so it's later for some folks. And who knows where Nick Bosa is? Is he in Florida right now? Is he posted up in a hotel room, just chilling, waiting to go? I don't know. But we got to get him in here. We got someone in the chat saying trade Bosa. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. No way that the San Francisco 49ers can trade Nick Bosa. Not even a thought process. Can't do it. We want winners. Right? You know how that goes. We want winners. Nick Bosa's a winner. Nick Bosa isn't going to get paid $38 million. I don't think that's the case. Right now, the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL is Aaron Donald at 31 per year on average. My projection that I put out during the summer was 32 and a half or 33 and a half per year on average. I think if the San Francisco 49ers and Nick can agree to 33 and a half, that seems like a happy little medium. That seems fair. 35 mil per year on average. I could live with that. I could do that as well. But honestly, at the end of the day, it kind of is what it is, right? Because the 49ers are going to feel the ramifications of this contract regardless of what it is, right? And that is something that they knew the second that they turned in the card to go up and draft Nick Bosa. Because when they were drafting Nick Bosa, they talked about it. They talked about how the Arizona Cardinals made that decision to go and draft Kyler Murray and how they just put Nick Bosa right in our lap. And, shout out to the Cardinals, baby. They're in full-blown tank for Caleb Williams mode. I hope that they do everything in their power to tank, but they end up in the 2-hole. That's just what I'm looking for. Do everything in their power to tank, end up in the 2-hole, lose out on Caleb Williams. They'll probably take May out of North Carolina. There's some good quarterbacks in this upcoming class. So there's some good players in this upcoming class. So, but obviously the jewel of this class is going to be Caleb Williams. And I mean, you saw it. USC versus San Jose State, dude was cooking. So that's what they're trying to do. But because they went Kyler and they gave us Nick Bosa that day that we drafted Nick Bosa, they knew this day was coming where he would be getting a record-breaking contract. So it's kind of an is what it is scenario. Now, if they're working out the finer details of things, what the guarantees look like, what incentives look like, signing bonus, those types of things, that might take a little bit longer. But hopefully the 49ers get it done, because trading Nick Bosa is not even a thought process. Can't be. Absolutely can't be. Because let's play this game of some of the people in the chat talking about trade Nick Bosa. What are you trading for? Who are you trading him to? What are you getting in return? Picks don't help the 49ers this year. Picks don't do it. Picks do nothing for me. This is a Super Bowl ready win now team. Brock Purdy's healthy. We got weapons galore. No guarantees what, Brandon Ayuk's future looks like. We don't know what a couple guys' futures are going to look like. This is now. The time is now. Trading Nick Bosa doesn't do anything to help us win a Super Bowl. So I understand that people get in their feelings. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he's holding out. He wants money. Good. Get your money, get your bag. Then we already know it's not like Nick Bosa sitting off to the side playing checkers all day, not working out, not in shape. He's going to show up ready to go. I had Mohamed Sanu on the channel yesterday. His locker was right next to Nick Bosa's, and he's like, "This dude is a freak. There's no one else like Nick Bosa that exists. He is so regimented in his preparation. He's so regimented in the way he prepares for game days. He will come in ready. It's not even a question. He does the same thing, the same workout every time. He's dialed in. Sanu's like, it doesn't matter, man. Like, just get him in here because he's going to be ready to go. He has the work ethic. He has the mentality. He's like the one guy that you don't have to worry about being ready. So once you get him in here, you get him paid, we're rocking and rolling. It's done with. Sign it. We're off and rolling. The season begins. We could finally put this whole off season behind us and we can get after it. That's the goal. That's the goal. Angel says the bear is over hibernating. Someone pay that man. We got to wake him up. We got to wake up Nicky Bosa. Nick, wake up. Who's got the honey pot? 49ers need to show him the honey. It's not show him the money. Show him the honey. Show the bear the honey. He'll get up. He's like, what's that? He's like, is that honey? Is that honey? Let's do it. Let's do it. Show him the honey. Hashtag show him the honey. Drop the honey emojis in the chat. Because we already know he's going to get the bag. But the bear's hibernating. We got to show him the honey. So, listen. At the end of the day, I'm concerned that it's taken this long. Oh, you guys are spamming the honey pots in the chat. Let's go. Let's go. Show me the honey. Let's go. Spamming the honey in the chat. Let's go. We got to wake the bear up any way we can. Any way we can. We'll give him both. You know what I mean? We'll give him the bag and we'll give him a bunch of honey pots. 100%. Show him the honey. Let's go. Where's Bosa at? Wake up, honey. Nick Bosa's here. So I can't wait. It's going to happen. The trade, no one's trading Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa's going to be here. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if that was used as leverage or anything. You know, it's contract negotiations. It's cutthroat. It is what it is. Things are going to happen. Things are going to be said. But at the end of the day, once it's paid, water under the bridge, it's time to work. And if there's anyone who needs to work or who's going to go to work, it's going to be Nick Bosa. And when it all comes down to it, Nick Bosa is going to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL, in NFL history. And listen, I get it. The 49ers have been in the business of cutting big-time checks, right? They have made Trent Williams, when he signed, he was the highest paid left tackle in the NFL. When they signed Juice, he was the highest paid fullback in the NFL. When they signed Kittle, he was the highest paid tight end in the NFL. When they signed Fred, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm pretty sure Fred was the highest paid linebacker in the NFL. So, and they paid Jimmy. After 5 games, the San Francisco 49ers made Jimmy Garoppolo the highest paid quarterback in NFL history pay Nick Bosa. All right? Quit playing games. Pay that man his money. Give him the honey. And let's get Nick Bosa in. And let's put the offseason from hell behind us. And let's focus on week 1. And let's go get some dubs. Because that's what I'm looking forward to, man. I'm looking forward to the 49ers just locking in. Like, because it feels like we, like as a fan base, like as fans, right, who root for the team, it's like we can't lock in. We can't put the offseason behind us because we're still in the offseason. We're still dealing with offseason things. And we got to get the man paid, man. And we got to just put this offseason behind us. Once the season starts, no one's going to even think about this offseason anymore. Once we start winning football games, no one's going to care about what happened. And again, at the end of the day, when the story's written and the San Francisco 49ers are holding up the Lombardi, no one is going to care, right? So 49ers need Nick Bosa if they want to win a ring. They have to have Nick Bosa. No ifs, ands, or buts, candies, or nuts. They got to get Nick Bosa paid, and we got to get him out here. So that's what it is. Like, that's really what it is. And again, once they pay him, boom, we're hyped, we're celebrate, and then it's on to Pittsburgh. That's it. It's going to be a distraction until it's not. And then when it's not, we don't care. We don't care. We're on to the next. We got short-term memory. Give us a win, on to the next. So, yeah, you all see that stuff with Brian Burns? I told you guys. I've been telling you for like 2 years that the Panthers aren't going to pay Brian Burns. I'm too good at my job, man. I'm too good at this. If they hit Nick Bosa with my projection per year average of 33.5, too good at this. Too good at what I do. But I told you that the whole time everyone's like, oh, they're gonna pay. We were doing all our Brian Burns, like tinfoil hat theories and all that stuff all offseason, just because you guys know I love Brian Burns. Well, I told you last 2 years they're not gonna pay Brian Burns. And sure enough, Brian Burns went dark on social media, and it's come out since then and he's gonna hold out. He's not gonna play for them. Unfortunately, we apparently don't have the money to pay Bosa. So my dream, unfortunately, doesn't have too much legs to it. I could come up with the trade compensation. I could come up with the deal. Like I've always said, give me 5 minutes on the phone with Scott Fitterer. Remember, I was at the combine. I held the door open for the Panthers GM, Scott Fitterer, with Frank Reich and who's our quarterback coach? He played in the league for like 14 years. McCown. I opened the door for the brain trust of the entire Panthers crew in charge. I looked Scott Fitterer in the eye and telepathically I said, trade me Brian Burns. That's a real story. That legitimately happened, where I'm walking out of the stadium. They're walking into the stadium. I open the door. I look up. I'm like, oh, that's the Panthers general manager. And the first thing that pops in my mind, trade me Brian Burns. Looking him dead. I got problems, but that's just me. Shout out Corey. Appreciate the badge. But yeah, man, telepathically, I told the Panthers GM to trade us Brian Burns. I don't think it's going to happen, but I told you that there's a really good chance that they are not going to pay him, and it's starting to look like that. So we'll see. We'll see if Burns gets moved here pretty soon. Am I Burns pimp? Damn near. Telling you, I know greatness when I see it. No, I know greatness when I see it. But yeah, we're probably not going to get Brian Burns. But I like that story. It's a fun story. But we're not focused on that. We're focused on getting Nick Bosa paid. But what outside of Nick Bosa, what other things? What other things can we talk about? Hey, Hectic, appreciate the badge, man. What other things? Any news on Kittle? I heard from I think it was John Lynch who said he's fingers crossed that Kittle's back this week. So as long as Kittle's ready to go, week 1, we're good. We need Kittle because, as we know, Cameron Latu's on IR for the year. So we got a redshirt year for Latu, our 3rd round draft pick. Jake Moody. Before I get to kicker, so the tight ends that made it: Charlie Warner, Ross Dwelly, and Braden Willis. We're on number alert for Braden Willis because he wore 9 throughout the preseason. Quantrez Knight took number 9, which means what number does Braden Willis have? Paul says Braden Willis is a sleeper. Braden Willis was the best rookie tight end by far throughout training camp. And because they weren't featuring Willis throughout the preseason, I thought they were going to try to sneak him to the practice squad. I didn't think that was a good idea, but I thought that's what they were doing because they really weren't featuring him. They weren't throwing it to him. I was like, oh, they're going to try to sneak Willis onto the practice squad because there's a 7th round draft pick, but he was by far the best tight end, rookie tight end in training camp. Willis is legit, man. Like, Willis really does have potential to turn into a really, really good tight end for this team. I mean, already he's legit as a pass catcher. Again, one of my favorite plays from Braden Willis in training camp was a block. Shocking. One of my favorite plays was a block. It was during a move the ball period with Brock Purdy, and Brock was cooking, and Brock delivers a dime over the middle of the field to Brandon Ayuk, fits it in between 2 linebackers. Brandon Ayuk catches it, but they're probably about 60 yards out moving towards the red zone. So they're at the beginning of the move the ball period. Brock delivers this dart to Ayuk, hits Ayuk in stride. Ayuk burns the 2 guys that were guarding him. And then it was Braden Willis who was out in front, set the edge basically for Ayuk to turn the corner and go for 50, 60 yards for a touchdown. So that was one of my favorite plays. And it was from Braden Willis as a blocker. And again, him being out in front, being able to put himself in position. I think he blocked Jair Brown on the play. And then Ayuk just went to the house, went to the pylon, scored a touchdown. So I like Braden Willis. How much are we going to see of Braden Willis? I'm not sure. I was bullish all year saying that the 49ers were going to keep 4 tight ends. The 49ers kept 4 tight ends. They put Latu onto IR. They kept Dwelly. And again, shout out to Dwelly. I thought Dwelly was going to be the odd man out, but they kept Dwelly. And I said from the jump, they're going to keep Warner because of his blocking ability. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they do because we know Willis can catch. We know Warner can block. And if Warner can develop as a blocker, if Willis can develop as a blocker, he could really become a really quality tight end for the San Francisco 49ers. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think someone asked about the kicker. With the kicking situation, we heard from Kyle Shanahan that he is optimistic that the 49ers could potentially be with Jake Moody against the Steelers. Now, we understand the 49ers signed the former Steelers kicker, Wright. He's on the practice squad. So they do have the option. If they don't feel comfortable with where Jake Moody's at, they can elevate their kicker off the practice squad. So we got a backup option. But Kyle Shanahan did go on KNBR last week, and he did say that he feels optimistic with Jake Moody. So we could see Jake Moody out here kicking for the San Francisco 49ers. Which, listen, I know a lot of people are a little bit shaky about that with his preseason performance, but we got to get him out there. We need Moody kicking. We got to build up the confidence, right? We got to get the confidence rolling with Jake Moody, and the sooner the better we can get him out there. So we need it. Jason's got Moody in fantasy. I've seen a lot of people grab Moody. I'm actually surprised. Moody's going to be fine. Yeah, I think Moody's going to be fine too. Early jitters. Once he settles in and just kind of, it's all about confidence. That's all it is. That's the thing. Being at practice, dude's got a leg. He really can kick. It's just got to settle the mind down. Once he settles the mind down, should be fine. So hopefully, though, we get it in sooner rather than later. What does LNG stand for? Stands for Late Night Gang. Shout out to the Late Night Gang. It's 9:40 for me. I know it's late for some of you guys. I haven't done a Late Night Gang stream in a long time. Normally for us to do Late Night Gang stream, it's like after a game, or it's something crazy happens where Nick Bosa gets paid and we come on a Late Night Gang stream. But tonight we're just vibing. Week 1 starts tomorrow. Speaking of vibes, and shout out to Matt Schremer for the $20 super sticker. Let's go, my boy. Appreciate you. Appreciate the $20 super sticker. That's dope. Thank you very much for that. But we got vibes. We're running off vibes right now because we're just waiting for Bosa to get paid. Someone said who Ali Dog says who are my captains? I put this out on Twitter the other day, who my captains were. My captains were, let me pull it up. And I even I put it out there, and then someone was like, well, you forgot this guy. And I was like, damn, I did forget that guy. So I might even switched it. But let me pull it up. All right. So on Twitter, I put this out. When did I do this? On the 31st. So when was that? Friday. I projected that the 49ers captains, they were going to have 7, could be 8, could be 7. I'm not really sure. Could be a good year for 8, but might be 7. I think what I projected was 7. I had Fred Warner, lock. Fred's a lock. Fred's just absolute lock for captain. Trent Williams, absolute lock. George Kittle, lock. Eric Armstead, lock. These guys have been the captains for last couple years. So I think those guys are going to be locked in, those 4. And then we're going to kind of see after the fact. So we got 4 locked. It could be an additional 3 to 4. I think they go 7, could be 8. We'll find out. But I have Brock Purdy getting the captain this year. I don't think it makes sense not to have Brock Purdy the captain this year. I just think he clearly has worked his tail off to one, not only put himself in a position to win football games when he was thrown to the fire as a rookie, but he was able to work through his surgery, work through the injury, bounce back. Brock Purdy's, to me, he's the quarterback. He's the definitive QB1. Feels like he's got to be the captain to me, man. Like he's just he has to be. So I got Brock as the captain. I still have Nicholas John Bosa as the captain. He was a captain last year, and I know people didn't really love the idea of Nick Bosa being a captain because of the holdout, but because they referenced Debo's holdout and all that type of stuff. But really, the way that I look at it is that he was a captain last year, and from the conversations, and you hear it from the players themselves, when it comes to contract time, people know they know what it is. It's get your paper. Not one player in that locker room is looking at Nick Bosa being like, "Oh, you're selfish. How dare you? How dare you put yourself, your contract above the team?" That's not how it works. Fans might feel that way. Fans might feel that Bosa is putting his own selfish wants ahead of the team. It's just not how it works. When you're in a locker room, when you're in the NFL, you get paid when you can, whenever you can. And that's what it is. And if you're a Nick Bosa type, they want you to get paid. They want you to get all the money. So I do not look at this situation. Bosa's been quiet. He hasn't made a stink. We've heard nothing from him. There's not a spectacle, nothing. So the way I view it is Bosa will get the captain's patch for the second year. And then, so if they were to do 7, I originally put Talanoa. I would do Talanoa if it was 8. I think he would be my 8th guy because I think Talanoa Hufanga's been a great locker room guy, and I think he really is a gel guy. So, but Hufanga would be my 8th guy. If I had to do my 7th guy, I think I didn't put him in here originally, and it's tough, man. But it feels like Christian McCaffrey. Like I see people talking about Ayuk, Debo, all worthy. All worthy. I'm not going to say they're not worthy, but it feels like Christian McCaffrey, when they talk about this guy's work ethic, when they talk about the standard that he sets for this team, for the offense, for what they're about, it feels like Christian's got to be that guy. Like, and that's no disrespect to Ayuk. Ayuk's a dog. He's absolutely taken steps forward in that leadership category. Same with Debo. Debo put in work this offseason. Debo really showed. I love the way Debo responded this year, and I expect huge things out of Debo. But I do think Christian McCaffrey is just like, he's just that guy, like where he's like a pros pro. You know what I mean? Like in a room full of pros, he's one of the elite pros. So I feel like he's got to get the captain's badge, but we'll see. We'll see. What's good? What's good? Big pun. He said didn't hear the original ones, but I assume Trent was there. Yeah, I'll reread them. So my captains, if I did 8 captains, would be Fred, Trent, George, Eric, Brock, Bosa, CMC, Talanoa. If we did eight, that's kind of how I'd rock. But again, it's hard. It's a hard decision because I do think Ayuk has taken a step forward in that leadership role. I do think Debo has put in immense work as well and is a leader of the locker room. So we'll see. We'll see. Those are my guys right now with the captains. Good question to ever ask that. Jason, this is a good question too. This one's gonna make us think a little bit. He says Armstead had a presser the other day and got questions about Steve Wilks' impact on the defense. His words didn't seem confident in the new DC, and he seemed to be really sweating the questions. Well, first of all, shout out to Jason. Shout out one of my main SDS guys, always in the chat. Appreciate the super chat. And I will say this: I didn't hear the interview from Eric Armstead, so I can't speak from his perspective. I don't know what questions he was asked. I didn't hear what he said. I didn't hear the tone. So I can't speak to it. But what I can say is that from the tape that I've been able to break down of the 49ers defense with Steve Wilks at the helm, keep in mind, no Nick Bosa, no Dre Greenlaw. Who else wasn't out there? We saw Hargrave for 10 plays against the Broncos. That was it. I'm trying to think who else was out. We didn't see Tashawn Gibson. Did we see Charvarius? I can't remember if we saw Charvarius and Demo together. I don't know if we did. But what I will say is that what I saw from the schematic standpoint, again, not individuals, but from the schematics, I saw an aggressive, attacking, stunting, looping. I'm going to get after your ass defense. And to be honest, like we've had Sala, we've had D'Amico obviously felt like they ran a lot of cover 3 shell, a lot of kind of, rush 4 and play coverage behind. They would have, we saw D'Amico really kind of mix things up there last year with them kind of switching up alignments, showing blitz, dropping guys out. They started to it did feel like D'Amico was definitely more aggressive than Sala was. It felt like Sala was really just, we got 4, rush 4, play coverage. D'Amico was the next step forward, but so far from what I've seen of Wilks is that dude is getting after him. I mean, you're talking about overloading one side, stunts on both sides, showing 6 to 7 on the line of scrimmage, dropping 2 out. I think he's going to really get after these guys. I think with Wilks, he's going to attack opposing offenses. And that's why you need Bosa, man. Like, you need to be getting home. You need to be getting home in a hurry. So obviously D'Amico was locked in, right? D'Amico was clutch at also game planning per offense and per his personnel. That was one of the best things that I witnessed watching D'Amico coach was that, like, remember when Ambry got in against the Bengals? Was that 2021, Ambry's rookie year? They ran hella cover 2. And the purpose of that was to protect Ambry, who was a rookie getting his first start based on all the injuries at cornerback. And that's what I loved about D'Amico is like he knew what levers to pull to put his players in the best spot. Now, I haven't seen enough sample size from Wilks. I didn't study Wilks' defense with the Panthers, with the Cardinals, or any of that. So it's still going to be a learning process for me. But I will say from what I've seen with the start, as many of the starters as possible, they feel like aggressive. They feel really aggressive. And one of the cool things about watching Steve Wilks at practice is he's super hands-on. Super hands-on. Like he's out there doing all kinds of stuff with Demo and Charvarius. I think this team has an opportunity to create a lot of turnovers. That's kind of one of my takeaways of watching Steve Wilks so far is and how the defense is kind of wiring themselves is that they're going to be turnover machines. Like they're going to be going after the football constantly. We already know Fred Warner is going to be punching at that football. But I remember I showed that clip not too long ago of it was like DFF, I forget who else. They held the guy up and then it was Talanoa Hufanga who ripped the guy's arm away from the ball and Fred Warner comes in and punches it. Like to me, I was like, yes. Like this is what we are going to see. We already know that they're going to swarm. We already know it's going to be 11 hats to the football. But when they get there, they're going to hold them up and they're going to attack the football. And I really think that's going to translate into more turnovers. And also, too, again, the way they run their stunts up front, more sacks, which also is going to is going to affect the timing of an offense, and that's going to force guys to get the ball out quicker, which could turn into more interceptions. So, based on what I've seen, and again, it's a small sample size because we really didn't see that many starters. Hectic 100%. This is 100%. He said, Black Air Force energy coming with that defense. That's exactly what it felt like. And again, it wasn't with all the starters, it was with a couple starters. And that's what it felt like. That's exactly the vibe that I got. It was just like, dude's not given no F's to give. And they're out here attacking straight up Black Air Force energy 100%. Shout out Tyree for the badge. Appreciate you, man. So I didn't see this. I didn't see what Eric said, so I can't give a ton of insight directly to kind of like my read on what he said. But I still have a positive outlook because remember in this preseason, 49ers got gashed on the run, right? They got gashed. They got ran on. But all things considered, we didn't see a whole lot of Eric Armstead. We didn't see a whole lot of Javon Hargrave. We didn't see a lot of course, we didn't see Nick Bosa. So we didn't see their top three defensive tackles. So, and Clellan, shout out Clellan. He looks like a guy. He looks like he's going to be the starter opposite of Nick Bosa. So Clellan looks good to me. I'm really excited about Clellan. Drake Jackson. Excited about Drake Jackson. Who else are we excited about on that defensive line? We know Kevin Givens and Javon Kinlaw. You know, we're going to be really counting on those two guys to pick up the slack with the second unit on that defensive line because we know these guys are going to rotate. So Kevin Givens and Javon Kinlaw, they're going to have big roles this year, and we're going to need to rely on them because Kerry Hyder isn't going to play Javon Hargrave isn't going to play every snap. Eric Armstead isn't going to play every snap. So those guys are going to need to be able to rotate in, and I really want to see what they can do. Kerry Hyder, though, shout out Kerry Hyder. He had a great camp, by the way. Kerry Hyder, T.Y. McGill, Austin Bryant is more of a prototypical pass rusher, like pass rush specialist. I don't see Austin Bryant as a guy you want in base down sets, but I do like his ability off the edge as a pure pass rusher. But hey, man, the 49ers, I think, are going to be able to get it done. So not too worried about it. Shout out to everyone sending super chats. Old Man Rock with the $10 super chat. Appreciate it. Says Bosa is like Barry Bonds in that both were their own coaches. They became machine like in the execution of their craft and application of their will over the will over their will over the will of the opponents. That's like a I like that. That's a good super chat. That's I like the baseball cross reference g- comparing two elite athletes, Barry Bonds and Bosa, the mentality that they bring to the table, the fact that they don't necessarily need to rely on coaching to prepare themselves. They're so effective at preparing themselves internally motivated, all that type of stuff. Hey, what's good, JD? I like that one. That's a good one. And they are machine like, they are robotic. And when it comes to uh, putting their will over someone else, I like it. Good comment. That's a good one. Jay Greasy, you're hating, boy. That was a good comment. Shout out Old Man Rock. I don't know if I've recognized Old Man Rock over here, but that was some legitimate old man wisdom right there. I like that one. That's a good one. Hey, Pats P, what's good, my boy? Brandon Lemus, appreciate the super chat. Says, think we can improve at the defensive back position because I honestly feel like that's our weakness on D. Please prove me wrong. You know, cornerback, defensive back, it has been the 49ers like Achilles heel going on a couple of years now. Obviously, the San Francisco 49ers paid Charvarius Ward, and Charvarius Ward has been phenomenal. So I'm very happy with Charvarius Ward. Mooney is a legit cornerback one to me. To me, he's a top 10 guy, and he really has the opportunity to enter that conversation. Like right now, Mooney is like the most slept on cornerback one in the entire NFL right now. No one talks about him. No one mentions his name. No one discusses him. He's quiet. He doesn't have the name value, and no one talks about him. But he is a quality cornerback. Quality cornerback one. So with Charvarius, we do have a legitimate, like, this guy can guard your DK Metcalfs. He can guard your Cooper Kupps. He can guard those number one guys. So I feel good with Mooney. Now, we obviously are dealing with some issues at nickel, which is affecting it's affecting Diamador, right? Because with Diamador, he's was slated to be our outside corner. And I was fine with that. I liked Diamador, and Diamador got better throughout the year, got better throughout the playoffs. So, and Diamador was buried on the depth chart. May I remind you, in training camp last year, he was behind everyone. Diamador pulled himself out of being buried on the depth chart to then starting at the end of the year. So Diamador worked his tail off. He earned it, and he got better each game. So Diamador, to me, is a pretty solid cornerback 2 or starting nickel. The thing with Diamador is he's good at press man. And that's why if they kick him into the slot, that he would thrive there because he's really good at using his hands. So when you're playing in more confined space in the slot, Diamador Lenore can put his hands on you. He can lock you up. So, and he has more ability. Obviously, he's got to worry about left and right in the slot, but he can also be a little bit more physical in the slot. So if that's where they feel he fits best, then I'm okay with that. But I do think Diamador is going to play inside out. I think he's going to play in both scenarios because if you think about it, if I'm Wilks and I'm truly concerned about my nickel situation with Isaiah Oliver or what's his name? Womack, which I do think Womack is pretty solid. I did talk about Kittle's injury. I'll try to circle back around to it. Um, with Womack, I like Womack a lot. He has a ton of promise. But if you think about it, this team is probably going to run more 3 safety sets, right? So maybe we are over amplifying the issue at nickel, right? Because if you think about it, like we could theoretically put Jair in the slot if we're running 3 safety sets and we still have Diameter on the outside and Charvarius on the outside, and we just put in Jair right there. And so we got Gip, Talanoa, Jair, and we can have basically Jair. Hey, appreciate you, JD. We can pretty much we can make it work, is basically what I'm trying to say. Whether it's using nickel linebackers, whether it's using the safety more, or rotating guys in, or kicking Diamador down. So, and I feel good with Gip and Hufanga and Jair and George Odom. So, again, I feel okay about where we're at. I think there's going to be some creativity involved, especially if Isaiah Oliver doesn't pan out. But that doesn't mean they're going to take Diamador off the field. They're just going to shift them a little bit. If it is a 3 wide receiver set or 4 wide receiver set, they can kick Diamador down, and they could put Ambry out if they had to, or Womack. So the thing about Womack and Diamador is they have inside out versatility. So they can go back and forth, and you can play Tig in the nickel. So I'm not too concerned about it, to be honest. And again, a good pass rush is going to aid your defensive backs so well. So you get Nick Bosa in here, and we're cooking, man. We're all right. Just gotta get Nick paid. Thoughts after week 1 college ball? I didn't watch all the games, but shout out to Dion, man. Shout out to Dion going into TCU. That was a extremely entertaining game. Shout out to future 49er Travis Hunter. Looking forward to that. He'll be playing both sides for us. That will solidify any nickel or any cornerback issues that we have. He'll be able to play wide receiver as well. So shout out to Travis Hunter, future 49er. I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like that before, where a guy played both sides of the football in a college football game. Like, that is crazy. So shout out to him. I think he played like 129 snaps or something like that. That is crazy. Michael Penix, he's been a dog. He was a dog wasn't he at Indiana? That's where I first noticed Penix. He plays for Washington now, right? But I first noticed Penix. I think he tore his ACL and then he transferred. I didn't even know he was at Washington, but I remember watching him. I think it was at Indiana, and he was a baller there. And you could see the talent that he had. I think it was Indiana. I could be wrong, but he definitely transferred. He's legit. So yeah, they're gonna have a shot. Caleb Williams. It's gonna be a phenomenal year for Dynasty next year, JD. There's gonna be a lot of talent coming out of this college college class. I mean, the quarterbacks that are coming out. What was it? Oregon put up like 81 points. Bo Nix. Who else they got out there cooking? FSU stomped LSU today. Yeah, USC can't play defense to save their lives. Doesn't matter. They got a legitimate offense. unicorn at quarterback. It's gonna be a good draft year. And the 49ers got a first round pick, baby. We got a first round pick. Draft season is gonna be litty. Finally draft season's gonna be litty. Draft season's been low key mad sus because we haven't had first round draft picks. And it just changes the vibe. Changes the vibe of the draft season. We got a first round pick, baby. We right now we got 11 picks. And we're going to need every single one of them. We're going to use every single one of them because we're going to need all these players on rookie deals because we're going to pay Nick Bosa. We're going to have no money left. And we got to put our scouting caps on this year, baby. One of these years, the 49ers are going to listen to me. One of these years, they're going to listen to me, take one of my boys. They still take my boys, and they do a really good job. I'm just messing around. But yeah, man, it's a good year. Excited for it. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Might have to get out to the Senior Bowl. JD Senior Bowl. Might have to do the Senior Bowl trip. We haven't been to the Senior Bowl since 2020. But it's time. And yeah, if we can divide and conquer at Senior Bowl, let's do it. I'm for sure. I want to go to Senior Bowl this year. I last year was such a because it's the week after the NFC Championship game, and so for me, I was like, I'm either going to the Super Bowl or I'm going to the Senior Bowl. And then the way we lost the NFC Championship game, I was like, no way. I'm not going to the Senior Bowl. I don't care. I was so upset with football after that NFC Championship game. All right. My guy's been waiting for Kittle talk. Let's talk Kittle. Where's the question that he asked? The guy's asked about Kittle like 10 times. I'm trying to. Okay, there we go. He said, talk about Kittle. So I think Kittle is going to be available this week. I do think he is legitimately questionable to play this week. But if I was a betting man, I would bet that Kittle does play this week. Now, we don't know for sure. We still got to see what he's going to look like at practice, all that type of stuff. We need one participation. That's it. That's all we need. We just need Kittle to participate in one practice. Doesn't even have to be full participation. As long as we get one participation in practice, if it's at the end of the week, that is your sign that Kittle will likely be available for Sunday. So that's what we're looking for. If Kittle doesn't practice tomorrow, okay, not ideal, but also not the end of the world. So what we are looking for in order to make sure Kittle is playing, we need one participation. That's it. Just one. If he participates on Wednesday, he's playing. He's absolutely playing. So, George, he's gonna tough it out if he has to. So, I think it was John Lynch who said he's crossing his fingers that he could play this week. So we're still in kind of a limbo. But I think we should be all right. So no Kittle, no Bosa. Well, hopefully we are talking about Kittle and Bosa. Hopefully we're talking about Kittle and Bosa here in the next week. So it's a big week for us. Big week for us. Got to pay Bosa. We need Bosa. We need Kittle. We need to be healthy. We need all the boys back. Elijah Mitchell's going to be back, which is awesome. So hopefully last week was a week of recovery and guys were able to get their bodies right. And this week we get ready for week 1. So I will say, though, although some guys have been dinged up, we didn't have any serious injuries this offseason. So that's a good thing. We didn't have any serious injuries, and that's huge, right? That's huge for us. That's huge for us. We had some minor dings, right? Latu isn't going to play this year, but I feel like that was more of a roster decision, less about injury. I mean, John Lynch did say that Latu wouldn't have made the final 53, and so they did find a loophole workaround to redshirt him for the year. So we're not going to see Latu this year, but I think that is by design and not necessarily an injury situation. So want to be healthy, want to have Bosa, and we'll be good to go. So week 1, guys, officially starts tomorrow. And for me in the West Coast, 2 hours. Less than 2 hours before we can officially say it's week 1. We made it. Now, it's not going to be officially week 1 for me until Nick Bosa is paid, because to me, that cloud of the offseason is just going to linger until we get Bosa paid. So do me a favor. Before we get out of here, drop a hashtag pay Nick Bosa in the chat. Light it up. Let's get some good juju out here before we crash tonight. Labor Day tomorrow. Hopefully we get Nick Bosa paid. I'll take it on Labor Day if that's what it takes. For sure. I'll take it on Labor Day. I don't care. Just get Nick Bosa paid. That's all it comes down to. We should draft a first round left tackle. Trent's getting old. Yeah, we're definitely going to need to draft some offensive linemen, but I say that every year. It doesn't matter who's here. Draft offensive linemen always. But the 49ers don't like that strategy. We'll see if they do it, but they don't love that strategy. They didn't take any offensive linemen this year, and then they cut my boy Il Manning, and then Il Manning is now a Cardinal. Like, what the? I swear me and the 49ers just don't see eye to eye a lot of the times when it comes to like O-line stuff, man. I'm just like, I'm banging the table. Keep Il Manning. If you cut Il Manning, he's going to get swooped. It's like, don't play. Don't play these games. Don't try it. They cut Ilm, picked up by Arizona. I'm like, come on. If you got 2 eyeballs and you understand how to break down O-line, it's not hard to see that dude had potential, man. Anyways, that was a good late night gang stream. That was fun. Shout out to everyone who tapped in. Shout out to my people on IG. Appreciate the badges. Shout out to my guys on Facebook and YouTube. Appreciate the super chats. We have some good super chats today. Appreciate the super chats. Y'all are the best, man. For real. And we're getting ready to start on a new chapter, a new year. We're not quite there yet. Got to get Bosa paid before we can officially turn the page on this new season. But Shout out to everyone. Late night gang in the building. You already know the vibes. Always good when the late night gang SDS get together and vibe out a little bit. My boy. My boy. He says, Jordan says, Brad, who is winning the Premier League and why is it Liverpool? I don't even know who's in the Premier League, but I'm so happy for my boy Jordan living his best life out here vibing on soccer. God, I'm jealous, Jordan. You're living your best life, and the fact that you get to worry about who's going to win the Premier League right now over everything else. God, I'm jealous of you. But keep doing you, man. You're killing it, man. NBC Sports got a good one. Shout out my guy winning. I gotta see now. I gotta be able to. I gotta learn some soccer just so I can vibe with my guy because he's out here. He's out here posting soccer clips in the middle of Twitter meltdowns during the Raiders game, and I'm just like, man, this guy's he's doing it. He's doing it. Proud of him, man. G Code says Crabtree was signed until week 5. Will 97 be signed beforehand? I expect him to be signed this week, man. Bosa ain't no Crabtree. Bosa ain't no Mr. Steal Your Chain, Mr. Raider. Nope. They're not in the same. They should not be mentioned in the same breath. To me, Crabtree is a Raider, and stay on that side. Stay over there. I'm not the biggest fan of Crabtree, but yeah, he's going to be signed. He's going to be signed before that because they need this guy to win football games, and ultimately, that's what it's about. So the Raiders can have Crabtree. JD, you can keep Crabtree. I don't want him over here. I'm not gonna lie, no disrespect to my to these these guys like on the Raiders side that have awesome content that cover the Raiders. They're like, hey, do you want to do a Crabtree autograph giveaway? Nope. Nope. I don't want Crabtree associated with my brand whatsoever. I appreciate your generosity and I appreciate your offer, but nope. What's my beef with Crabtree? I didn't love Crabtree. I didn't love the holdout right off the bat. I didn't love the exit. You know, I thought he was good, but he wasn't great. And when he left, I felt like the true colors were shown, and I was like, yeah, I don't like Crabtree, man. And then yeah, I'm just not a fan. I just didn't like Crab. Bolden though, yeah, huge Bolden fan. Huge Bolden fan. Just Crab wasn't for me. Wasn't for me. Wasn't my guy. Wasn't a my guy. That's just me though. That's just me. There's very rare 49er players that I don't like. Crab is one of them. I did not like Anthony Davis. Could not stand that guy. Very rare that I beef with the 49er player, Josh Norman. But it happens. It happens from time to time. I currently am proud to say that I got no beef with any current 49ers, so that's a good thing. I like the squad. I like what we got. The brow. But I'm out of here, guys. Shout out to you. I honestly wasn't planning on coming on this long. So that's a testament to you. It's a testament to the vibes. So I appreciate you guys as always. Let's get Nick Bosa paid tomorrow and let's get it done. I'm out here, Instagram. Appreciate y'all. All right. We are out of here on Instagram. Instagram's closed down. Do listen to Ryan, like the stream up, grab your cookies on the way out. Appreciate the vibes. I saw you on Instagram. I saw you on IG. Happy Labor Day to you guys. We'll definitely be going live tomorrow. Jason says someone send a super chat. I mean, it's always a way to keep me on. You just keep throwing super chats at me. Kyle Williams. The problem is I liked Kyle Williams. He just made some bad plays. And it kind of destroyed his career as a result. But I actually liked Kyle Williams. Like, I thought he was a quality, like, slot guy. He just pooped the bed when we needed him most. Oh, there we go. Oh! G-Code wants violence tonight. G-Code wants violence tonight. Talking about $2 keeping me on here. He wants violence tonight because I got real beef with Trent Baalke. I was at the combine in Indianapolis. I stood 2 feet away from Trent Baalke and I stared him in his face. And I'm like, you made me almost hate football. I got real beef with Trent Baalke. So that guy, you guys know, I'm big into scouting. I'm big into player evaluation. I'm big into all that. Trent Baalke made me angry. He made me angry. Oh my God. And then his personality on top of it. Well, see, if you draft AJ Jenkins in the first round and you put his name in an envelope, then he's guaranteed to be the best wide receiver the 49ers ever had, and that's with Jerry Rice. Screw that guy, dude. I hate Trent Baalke. He ruined my team. He made me almost give up on rooting for this team because it felt like the 49ers were never going to get rid of him. Ooh, I'm telling you, man, that was the best $2 you ever spent because you got me hyped off that $2. You got me hyped off that $2. I was about to get out of here, go eat some French toast. My man's like, nah, I want blood. Here's $2. And yeah, I can't stand Trent Baalke. So John Lynch is a legend compared to Trent Baalke. I love John Lynch. Like, John Lynch is phenomenal. I love John Lynch. Trent Baalke can kick rocks with no shoes on. I do not like Trent Baalke. That man, bro, you got me thinking about the draft picks, the guys he passed up on. Trent Baalke passed up on Keenan Allen. On Keenan Allen 3 times, and I just sat there. Like, bro, Keenan Allen's in our backyard. Keenan Allen is a top 5 talent. I said it all offseason. Keenan Allen's a top 5 talent. The San Francisco 49ers need to get up off their ass and go draft Keenan Allen. No. Rashad Robinson. Let's take a cornerback out of LSU who was suspended all year. Didn't play football. No. Let's take Rashard Robinson. Bro, you triggered me with that's the best $2 you've ever spent. Because that's the one I keep it cool, calm, and collected, but you invoke Trent Baalke's name. Oh. You hit on the PTSD of one of the worst times I've ever had as a 49er fan. Baalke was, I mean, he had that one really good draft, but outside of that, oh my God, that draft also too, when we needed a quarterback because it was clear, and this was before Cap did the whole kneeling thing, and it was clear that Cap was on the downhill trajectory. They had Gabbert and who was the other quarterback who tore his ACL? God, he's played for the Eagles. Damn it, what was his name? Oh, killing me. But I was banging the table for the 49ers to take Dak Prescott. Okay, Dak Prescott, one of the most scrutinized quarterbacks in the league right now. Okay, I get it. That's fine. That's fine. But you took Rashard Robinson over Dak Prescott in the 4th round. Dak Prescott went 2 picks later when the 49ers needed a quarterback, and Dak was sitting right there, and I'm literally banging the table. I don't care if you say he's caca. That dude is a 4th round draft pick and clearly proved at that time that he could be a franchise quarterback. For a 4th round draft pick, that is value. That is value. 4th rounder. The reason why he's caca is because he plays for the Dallas Cowboys. That's why he's caca. If he goes anywhere else, plays for the 49ers, probably saves Trent Baalke's job. So probably a good thing he didn't draft Dak. But damn it, I was so upset about that. Yeah, great $2 you spent there, my guy. Steve says Labor Day and my birthday. Signed Bosa for my B-Day. Happy birthday, Steve. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate the super chat. Happy everyone wish Steve a happy birthday in the chat. And then also drop a middle finger emoji, not to Steve, but to Trent Baalke. Happy birthday, Steve. Middle finger emoji to Trent Baalke. G Code says, let's be fair. John Lynch didn't draft and pass on Mahomes. John Lynch didn't make the decision. John Lynch didn't make the decision. I think it's crystal clear that we got to iron some things out here. Kyle Shanahan made that decision, not John Lynch. Kyle Shanahan made that decision, not John Lynch. John Lynch actually told reporters that he said, hey, Kyle, maybe we should look at this Mahomes fella. Maybe we should. Thank you. Lynch wanted Mahomes. Yeah, because, bro, I stumbled onto a TikTok. Then they posted the football life of John Lynch. I already respected the hell out of John Lynch. I have so much more respect for John Lynch after watching his football life like documentary. John Lynch is for real, dude. Like, he's a real dude. Like, when it comes to a football player, when it comes to what he stands for, when it comes to just how he goes about his business, John Lynch is for real. I will never slander John Lynch ever. Like, he's dope. John Lynch is fantastic. He's not in a prototypical GM role. He's not. He isn't. He has a lot of the functions, but he's not drafting. It's more of a collaboration. Like, and Kyle Shanahan has the final say on it all. So you can't really compare apples to apples with John Lynch and Trent Baalke. They don't have the same roles. They're completely different. They're completely different. Oh, and he does know football. I'm telling you, man. Go watch that football life. I already had hella respect for John Lynch, but after watching it, I'm like, oh, dude, this dude is for real. Like, I'll probably try to post it at one point, but John Lynch was talking about how he gets drafted to the major leagues and he's out here pitching for the Florida Marlins. and Bill Walsh calls him because he just takes over for Stanford. And Bill Walsh is like, hey, I think you could be the next Ronnie Lott. And basically recruits him back to Stanford. And just like, and then John Lynch is low key a dog, man. He is a dog, not even low key. We just know him as like the guy we see in front of the media. He's a dog. Like on that football field, John Lynch is a dog. Former quarterback, turned safety, pro pitcher, bro knows ball. He knows ball. He knows what it takes from a heart perspective, from a mind perspective. After watching that, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be slandering John Lynch at all. Like, I love John. John's legit, man. He's legit. He's a legit dude. He's a legit player. Yeah, I got respect. I got hella respect for John. And he's not calling the shots. Like, I'm sure he's contributing to some of the shots being called, but like Kyle does have the final say on everything. Steve says buying another Bosa jersey tomorrow if he signs. Let's go. Absolutely. Do it. Do it. Harris says keep the super chats coming. Yeah, you successfully kept me on here for like another 15 minutes with $2. So congratulations. You're not going to trigger me again with the Trent Baalke thing. So Lynch picked Huff. Lynch knows. He knows what it takes. John Lynch played football at the highest level. He's a Hall of Famer. John Lynch knows ball. Don't get it twisted. John Lynch knows ball. Could probably be a coach if he wanted to. He just knows ball. He's been in it. He clearly gets it. So, big fan of John Lynch. But again, shout out to you guys, man. I don't know how you guys kept me on here for an hour and a half. I was not planning on being here for an hour and a half. Was legitimately coming on here to be on here for like 20, maybe 30 minutes. And now it's been an hour and a half. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to everyone who sent a super chat. Shout out to my guy for triggering me with all the Trent Baalke PTSD. I mean, man, I haven't been triggered off Trent Baalke in a minute, so I appreciate it. Got some stress out as well. So I'll take it. You know, hey, we like to stay It's Doug Peterson, all right? It's Doug Peterson, Steve. It's not Trent. Hey, all right. Trent's doing okay in Jacksonville. I'll give it to him in Jacksonville, okay? I'll give it to him in Jackson. He's doing okay. He got Trevor, he got ETN, got my boy Zay Jones. He traded for Christian Kirk. I like Christian Kirk. So when everyone was shitting on Christian Kirk, I was like, dude, Christian Kirk's good, man. Then he got Calvin Ridley for cheap. So listen, you can learn, right? Like you can learn. With the 49ers, when he was with my team, he was dog water. All right. There's no talking around it. When he was with the 49ers, he was absolute dog water. He's doing good in Jacksonville. I'll give it to him. Learn from your mistakes. Do all that type of stuff. Okay, that's fine. I get it. That's fine. But he was dog water with us. He's doing okay in Jacksonville. I'll give him credit. Give credit where credit's due. But not with us. He was terrible with us. He did pay Kirk hella money. But think about it. Jacksonville was trash. You had to overpay. You have to put yourself in that position a little bit, and you have to overpay when you're trying to attract free agents to a terrible situation. So It's fine. I know you guys are you guys are you guys are messing with me now. All right, I'm gonna get out of here before you guys send me another Trent Baalke super chat. Because I'm hungry. And I like Kirk. I like Kirk. I do. I like Kirk. I personally traded for Kirk like 3 years ago in Dynasty League. I like Kirk. He was just on another trash team in the Cardinals. Bro, I could do a whole show on this super chat. Damn it. I could do a whole show on the super chat. Damn it. Damn it. I can't go in depth, but do I think we resign Kittle once his contract is up? It's gonna be questionable. I'm gonna say that because, like I said, I could do a whole show on this, so I might have to one day. So I might have to keep that one in the chamber. I'll say it's questionable. It's gonna be questionable what happens with Kittle in the future. Like I said, I could do a whole show on that. You got it. I'm getting out of here. No more super chats, man. No more super chats. I'm getting out of here. Again, it's gonna come once we pay Nick. Once we pay Nick, bro, I don't know if we're gonna get BA back. Like, we're gonna have to make some hard decisions. So it is what it is. It's a circumstance of hitting on elite talent. I understand it. I get it. It's a cutthroat business. You can't keep everyone in a salary cap era. So the 49ers going to have some tough decisions next year, but I'm not ready to fully wrap my brain around it yet because we're going to have a long off season to talk about it, right? So I want to focus on this year, and I would just say that, like, enjoy these players because we don't know who's going to be here next year. So enjoy these guys, enjoy the time that you have with them on your team because we don't know what the future holds for them. So we'll see. Jason, are you still in here? I think you said, was something with my camera different? Does my camera look different? Did you like, because I thought he's like, did you get a new setup? Did something change? Is that what, did you say that like super early on in the stream? Because I see you're in here. So I want to re-ask the question. I was kind of on a roll, so I didn't want to break it up. Okay. So I went into my settings and I somehow realized I've been streaming on like 480p. No, I changed. I was like messing around in my settings, and I'm like, I went to like on my StreamYard and I'm like poking around and I'm like, wait a second. It says I'm on standard definition 480p. I said, all right, we're going to 1080. So the fact that you noticed that, okay, I'll take it. I'll take that as a win. I've been streaming in 480. I've been streaming off a potato. Yeah, I got to fix my lights. My lights are, but I've been apparently streaming off potato resolution. So hey, yeah, you win some, you lose some. But now we're on that crisp 1080. No more potato resolution or Wi-Fi, McDonald's Wi-Fi vibes. So I guess that's a good thing. Like, bro, no way I've been shooting on 480 for like, who knows how long. Who knows how long I was on 480? I was like, oh my God, that's embarrassing. Well, I'm glad you guys noticed. So it makes me feel better. Don't send me a super chat because I'm really getting off now. Bro, I'm gonna get it from my wife. I'm like, I'm just gonna hop on for like 20 minutes. just gonna hop on for like 20 minutes. Bro, it's been an hour and 40 minutes. My God, she bless her soul. Bless her soul for dealing with me. Appreciate you guys, man. I'm out of here though. Of course, I'll be back tomorrow, and we are definitely on Nick Bosa watch. Get that boy paid. We need it. All right, I'm out of here for now. Peace. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see